So this must be how they do Viking raiding parties. Would you like help? We could catch it on this side.
I'm not. Pressure on that rope. If it goes bad. So you get afraid.
I was gonna say we should go over there and have breakfast too.
Right? Second breakfast. They're all pretty with their Christmas.
Yeah, they're decked out for their holiday tour already. Our Christmas tour starts, I think, on their way back. So they'll definitely ship out later for Christmas.
Alright. This lady's like, I want to go out. Where are the bumpers?
There's the black rubber. I'm assuming that's rubber. Those are the bumpers.
Oh, okay.
So they'll. It is raining. It's getting rained on my head.
Excellent job.
Okay, go like I'm breakfast.
Close to 10 countries, Black Forest to the Black Sea, just on our mission.
direct translation is the German, what do you call it, the emperor got this like pancake with raisins and walnuts. Really yummy, really yummy. So right now, the only very modern building you will see is probably that point of German history is very close to home, here in Passau. What happened during World War II? Did we get bombed very badly? Somebody up there is fair. We have a lot of floods, we have a lot of city fires. Only 2 bombs. One bomb didn't cause much damage, but the other bomb destroyed one of the clock towers of the cathedral. Okay? I mean, if this is a story about tour for German tourists from other parts of Germany, sometimes my German colleagues don't share this story around at all because it's still quite sensitive for them, right? So I'm just very thankful none of the very precious things that we have. So later on, if you want to go for a walk, by all means, come down this section. We are going to now journey up this alley here. It's a bit of an interval training, right? So we're going to, you can either take the steps on the left, or you can left on the cobblestones right here. And what happens is this, when it's flooded, of course, you'll come place, or do you want to compare it with 2020 versus 100? So if the pipes now the well, so what we're gonna do right now, since there's nobody in front, let's go take photos of it. So we're gonna come. Hear the organ very clearly simply because of this echo organ feature that I have managed to resolve. Back to the center. One up here, you can swing it out.
look at solar panels. So nice, dear, look. I'm so glad people here are proactive.
For navigation. And this is what you came for, this beautiful scenic sailing, the first of the castles immediately in front of the ship. Beautifully framed here by this winter's day, the grey and white clouds, the mix of tree canopy, the evergreens and deciduous trees painting a beautiful hue of colours. Every cruise along this stretch is entirely different depending on the weather conditions, the time of year, and you get a very different light. Captain's up at the helm since first light this morning. He's taken us on this scenic cruise this morning, using all of his gauges and instruments to navigate through the deepest channel. At the moment, some 2.6 meters in depth beneath the ship. Now we carry a depth of 6 foot, 1.8 meters, meaning there is around 4 meters of depth in the river here in this channel that we're sailing. Times that by 3.3, 4, 8, 12, so about 13, 14 feet is the depth beneath us. Now start to take a look, I know the castle is drawing your attention here, but start to take a look over to the left-hand side. Look at all the grey sediment and silt. This has all been washed up because back when we had the flooding in June and again in September, the river would have made its way all the way up onto the riverbank here. And even now you'll see some heavy lifting equipment out there shoring up the riverbanks. Take a look at the trees. They're all going to be slanted, pointing downstream because there really was a wall of water breached the lock, came down. And all those weak saplings and smaller trees were just either wiped away, completely destroyed. We're seeing evidence of that right there over on the left. You can see, and it's going to get a little more pronounced as we make our way downstream. But back to the castles and the original castle here, the footings of which date back some 900 years. The newer version that we're seeing today is as old as Melk Abbey that we just saw around the 1700s. The onion-shaped dome construction, used very much as it was the fashion at the time, not denoting any religious persuasion. And you can imagine the original castle here because we still see the old castle walls, that grey, light-coloured brick. And in almost all the castles, they would use the bedrock, the brick, from which the castle was constructed on to construct the castle. It would give the castle this almost organic feel. And we're seeing evidence of that here, as it looks as if the castle is growing out of the ground itself. And what a viewpoint they've got there, right at the entrance to this, the official UNESCO Blackout Valley. And you can see why this marks the entrance. The river narrows, the hillsides get a little steeper. Not, that is entirely open to the public. what a hardy group of guests we are up here on the top deck, braving the elements. Well done. Now the great thing is, if you're up on the top deck, you're going to get the best photos. You lose a bit of the quality taking it through the glass downstairs, so it's going to pay off for you. Now the Danube spans all the way from the Black Forests
I really wish I had one of those things that people have on the back of their phone.
all the way up to the Black Sea. A huge river passing through not just Switzerland but into Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, and then down through the Eastern European. Well, what a hardy group of guests we are up here on the top deck, braving the elements. Well done. Now the great thing is, if you're up on the top deck, you're going to get the best photos. You lose a bit of the quality taking it through the glass downstairs. So
I'm guessing it's on the left.
the river is managed by the state, free to transit up and down the river. So if you are coming up or downstream, the Danube is an international waterway, so you don't pay to travel through the locks here. A lot of their money is earned from the huge hydro plants that you see off to the side. Here the river narrows, our speed increases 26 kilometers an hour.
Wow, water's moving.
Just take a look on the left-hand side. You can see how the river management works. Take a look how the river bank has been built out here. See just what's happening on the left side. So the river bank is built out and it focuses all the fast flowing water right into the middle of the channel, and that moves all the sediment and silt downstream. But whilst the water is moving quite rapidly here in the centre, look what's happening over the river bank. It's slowed it down. It's made it a lot less pacey, and by doing this, it stops the erosion away of the riverbank off to the side. And not just here, you're going to be seeing that that continues all the way down this channel here, these small fingers of stones sticking out on the side of the waterway to slow down the pace on the other side. A bit of maintenance going on off to our right side, just by kilometre mark 2028. The job of maintaining the rivers and the riverbank never ends, much like cleaning a kitchen. Now, whilst there might be fewer tourists here during the winter months, certainly during the snowier months of January and February, still very busy down in this area. And just off to the right, you can see one of the spa hotels that is frequently used. Good morning, for those of you. I'm here in the wheelhouse, so it's not a recording. On the right-hand side, the spa hotels just off to the right are just as busy in the winter months as they are the summer months. The hot tubs out there on the terraces and the roofs steaming away as it's surrounded by snow. As we pass by the town, I just want to point out some of the remedial flood protection marks that have been going on. So just take a look at the town on our right side here. Take a look at this concrete, this low concrete wall, which acts as a border between the town and the riverbank. Now this has a hollow channel which spans the entire length of the wall, and when there is a risk of flooding, the civil guard, much like the group we saw earlier on at Melt, they'll come along and they will slot in high pieces of temporary fencing. This can span in fact you can see some of the poles over there, showing an idea of how high they go up to, as far high as the lamppost there. So another 8 to 10 feet of protection. So it means when there is a risk of flooding, then you have extra protection, but when there is no flooding, you maintain the beautiful view that you have overlooking the river. Now you get an idea, so take a look at the end of the wall. We're just approaching here. This strong bulkhead effectively acts as an anchor point. Also take a look here on the right hand side, the road is closed. This landslide happened at the beginning of this year. The entire hillside gave way and all the rock came down. Luckily,
there are
no one
people
was hurt,
up there right now.
but this is going to take considerable time, estimate 2 years or so before they can make this safe again. There is a road.
Literally people on the side of the mountain right now up there.
On the right, you can see the entire roadway is now impassable, which means that traffic has to go all the way over onto the other side by those bridges. 30 kilometers extra they've got to drive, 20 miles. You know, despite this, this being here for tens of thousands of years, just goes to show how nature, when it decides to put on a show and show you what its true might is, nothing really stands in the way. The rock slide there, the slip.
You see the people up on the side of the mountain
Yeah,
up there?
I took a picture of
I'm like, you get the idea of the
For
scale.
locals,
Yeah.
it's
You see
made
them that tiny up there.
like these small houses that we're just passing on the right hand side, almost impossible to get to. Now the Austrian state have laid on extra small boats, small ferries to go from one side to the other. But you can really see just even today how temperamental that can
Is that a
be.
castle on the
back
top
to
of that
castle,
mountain?
The castle of
Yeah, it's up on the top.
Ashton Castle right there.
Wow.
On top of the hill, some 900 feet.
Wow. That's a hike to get up there.
One of the cargo ships just passing us by over here. We'll have a quick look at the cargo ship. We'll talk about how they operate. Standard.
Vita.
Very front. It's a small cabin right at the very front. Where the crew will live, and then you can carry whatever you want in there. Take
Car on the back.
take any items back to the ship. It's where the captain or wife or husband would live. It's a Dutch registered ship, that, so going all the way back up to the Netherlands, probably connecting it with some of the bigger ocean ships that are up there, the container ships, or maybe the big harbours up in Frankfurt or the big lines. A ship like that probably take around 10 days in here to get back up to the Netherlands. For us, 2 weeks on our itinerary from Amsterdam to Budapest.
That's amazing that that building's all the way up on top of that mountain like that. So it's amazing that
Let's
it's
have a
up
look.
on top
Ashton
there.
Castle, way up on top of the hill, sitting there proudly commandeering the Passau Valley, and the castle. George the site of its entrance, providing there is a boat escape. One of medieval challenges and puzzles that need to be solved. In the winter months, that Christmas market as well. The locals here love to hike up to the top of the hill. It's a beautiful walk just around the back of the hillside. Austria, an incredibly healthy, sporty nation. They like nothing more than to go out for a nice run in the morning, maybe a swim in the Danube, a hike or even a cycle. Drinking beautiful fresh water that comes down from the Danube. Vienna this year has just been voted once again the best city in the world to live in. This is a matrix that's carried out independently based on things like salary, social care, health, education, Vienna, Austria ranks number one for the 11th consecutively. The building down here on the right-hand side. Now, what would happen if you were coming upstream? It was a little more challenging. Obviously, no propulsion methods. Going down was easy. You just need to steer. But coming up, if you didn't have much money, then if you were really lucky, horses these are the stables which those horses were accommodated. Now, the tricks were much better than the humans. They had heating, they had an abundance of food and fresh water. And this is where they would take shelter, take residence, and it's a major source of heat.
Catching some breeze now.
Shelter behind the house, sunshade at the back. To the left side of the town of Willendorf is really Venus of Willendorf, which is a statue of the they found a second tooth, Venus 2, which is on display itself. Without the next bed, you'll find they just completely disappeared. That the towns and settlements here were inhabited in prehistoric times, tens of thousands of years ago, by men who used to go out and hunt with family. But whilst humanity has made huge progress since then, there is still a desire, as there was tens of thousands of years ago, to live in mountain dwellings close to bodies of water with the scenic river of the ocean. And we're just starting to see what has put the Passau Valley on the agricultural map. The apricot trees off to our left-hand side, and soon around the next bend you see nothing but acres, hectares of vineyards. And the vineyards and the vintners providing a huge revenue stream for this particular part of Austria. The world famous Grüne Veltliner, which is grown here, translates to green line, and you'll be seeing as we round the next terraces producing that world famous grape variety. Well, as well as perch, you'll maybe get some salmon this far upstream. They tend to stop around the Danube area. They eat a number of locks, slows their progress, despite the building fish ladders off to the side of the locks where fish can climb their way up through their natural pathways. The Danube becoming heavily populated with fish once again, cleaner than it has been for centuries, as there is so much regulation on what can go into the water. Prime example, for us, we can only put back in very clean, filtered, pure water. We have a whole bunch of sensors and matrix which measure the water that comes back in the ship. Certainly no industrial runoff can be sent into the river anymore as it was 30, 40 years ago. And in doing so, wildlife protection has become once again thriving here on the river system. One of our sister ships was surrounded by them, in fact. We've got the Viking River behind us. You can see that it's bigger than long, just over the Viking skin. Is that right? Skin. 2016 was the Viking skin. Skin is on its way to the Viking skin here. Hey Marco, how you doing? Good, yeah, have a nice day. I'll see you over there.
I like that little tone, it's fantastic.
So as we make our way down, so we take a look this time on the right side. Remember we were talking about the breakwaters coming in from the side.
I see the church on the right.
Well, they tend to be on the inner curves. And we've got a great example of one just coming up here in front of the church. And by having these breakwaters, these small fingers of stone and ballast sticking out from the side, they slow down the speed of the water on the inner curve, and that slows down. Right here on the right, you can see there's just a swarm looking out there, and a much larger one. Certainly not a population big enough to support a church of that size. And this gives you an idea how people in the area would travel out into some of those churches. As we say goodbye to the town. Just approach. Obviously, much like we saw the newer version of the box, this has been for centuries.
cuts off. Oh, you see it? It's sticking out right there.
Back in the floods in 2013, there we are, right here. This is the shape of the lighthouse we're looking at in between the two green ones. So still. Right there, the sky silhouetting Spitz Castle, the gorgeous town of Spitz laid down on the riverbank. Spitzmar, that's back out. And I'm going to point out, if we look directly ahead of us, over on the left-hand side, the Spitz side, you can see the oldest operating ferry here on the Danube. And this ferry is quite unique. It has no propulsion system whatsoever. And this is exactly how ferries would cross hundreds of years ago, using purely the flow of the water to get from side to side. We're going to slow down a little bit as we have to do so as we pass the ferry, not to disturb it. But take a look, there is two pylons on either side of the river here. A high tension cable spanning the river, going from these two green pylons, and attached to that pylon is the ferry, an old wooden structure, and it uses the flow of the water directed through the rudders at the back to get from side to side. Still operates to this day. There is nothing operating any older anywhere on the Danube. Costs a couple of euros to get across. Very popular during the summer months for cyclists. You can see the two piers from one side to the other. As I say, no mechanical propulsion system whatsoever, purely using the flow of the river to get from side to side. Well, the captain started with his Christmas tunes already, getting himself into the Christmas spirit as we say goodbye to Thanksgiving. Is this your favourite Christmas song, Captain? Last Christmas? I like this one as well. Wow.
Wow.
Thanks so much for the burst of Christmas. Magic Captain. Take a look on the left-hand side, just behind the ferry there, you can see the beautiful church in the distance. And this church is unique as it's got a mirrored crucifix up on the roof. And on certain days of the year when the geometry is just that, look at that, what a shot that is. You've got the beautiful welcome reception building on the right, the church in the background, the rolling hillside heading off there. As I was saying, during certain days of the year when the geology is just right, the sun catches the top of the roof and a brilliant flash of light emerges. as the sun reflects off the mirrored tiles. I can't see, is that a helicopter? Maybe it's the military there, maybe it's the... It's right above us there. I see some James Bond-esque action happening, somebody parachuting out, who knows? We can only hope. There we are, another great shot right there, slightly looking backward to the ship. You can see those beautiful buildings looking off to your left side, the church, the valley. What a great shot that is, almost getting those autumnal colours of the trees. And during the summer months, newer portion of the town here, the leisure centre, complete with slides and outdoor pools, moss boards during the winter. Well, we say goodbye to the town of Spitz, but the best, as I say, is yet to come. Two fantastic towns just up ahead of us. We're seeing over the next 20 or so minutes. Let's have a look though. Right in front of us we have the oldest church on the Danube, some 1100 years old. Get that right, 1,100 years old and still standing. That's right in front of us. And that is a testament to construction material of the time. It's the Church of St. Michael.
You hear the bell tolling from the church?
Yeah.
The Church of St. Michael has a number of unique architectural oddities. So get your cameras ready. We're going to be on a bunny hunt in just a few seconds, as the designer of the church has incorporated bunny rabbits into all of his design here. See how many of them you can spot. Here we are, the Church of St. Michael. As I say, take a look at the very... It's clearing up a little bit here. The skies are clearing, fantastic. I'll get a shot right now. Take a look at the church tower. On each corner of that church tower, you're going to see 4 double bunny rabbits, so 8 in total. The profile of the rabbits up on the church tower. But then wait, the rabbit theme continues as we make our way past and we sail by. Take a look at the secondary roof. So not the main roof, but there is another lower roof connected to that main building. And take a look on the apex of that roof. Those of you at the front just starting to see it now, and you're going to be seeing another 7 bunny rabbits up on the apex of the roof. Wait for it, wait for it. Just a second, look, we'll see as we come sideways. Now you're just starting to see it. So not the main roof, that secondary roof. Look right up at the apex. You can see them popping out of that white sky behind. Those 7 bunny rabbits.
That's funny.
Legend would tell how the snow was so high here one year that the rabbits could only escape up onto the roof of the church. Church of St. Michael, the oldest church on the river. A bit more Christmas music for you, Captain. Is earned from the huge hydro pumps that you see off to the side. Here's a little arrows, our speed increases 26 kilometers an hour. All the way down this channel here, these small fingers of stone sticking out from the side of the waterway to slow down the pace on the other side. A bit of maintenance going off to our right side, just by kilometre marker 2028. The job of maintaining the rivers and the riverbank never ends, much like cleaning a kitchen.
Oh, morning.
Now, whilst there might be fewer tourists here during the winter months, certainly during the snowier months of January and February, still very busy down in this area. And just up to the right, you can see one of the spa hotels that is frequently used. Good morning, for those of you. I'm here in the wheelhouse outside. It's not a recording. On the right-hand side, the spa hotels just off to the right are just as busy in the winter months as they are the summer months. The hot tubs out there on the terraces and the roofs steaming away as it's surrounded by snow. Flood protection works that have been going on. So just take a look at the town on our right side here. Take a look at this concrete, this low concrete wall, which acts as a border between the town and the riverbank. Now this has a hollow channel which spans the entire length of the wall, and when there is a risk of flooding, the civil guard, much like the group we saw earlier on at Melt, they'll come along and they will slot in high pieces of temporary fencing. This can span in fact you can see some of the poles over there, showing an idea of how high they go up to, as far high as the lamppost there. So another 8 to 10 feet of protection. Get an idea, so take a look at the end of the wall. We're just approaching here. This strong bulkhead effectively acts as an anchor point. Also, take a look here on the right-hand side. The road is closed. This landslide happened at the beginning of this year. The entire hillside gave way and all the rock came down. Luckily, no one was hurt, but this is going to take considerable time. They estimate 2 years or so before they can make this safe again. There is a road that is completely covered. And if you take a look at the right, you can see the entire roadway is now impassable, which means that traffic has to go all the way over onto the other side by those bridges. 30 kilometers extra they've got to drive, 20 miles. You know, despite this being here for tens of thousands of years, just goes to show how nature, when it decides to put on a show and show you what its true might is, nothing really stands in the way. The rock slide there, the slip, causing a huge havoc for the locals, and has made places like these small but you can really see just even today how temperamental that can be. Okay, back to the castle of Achstein Castle, right there up on top of the hill, some 900 feet. One of the cargo ships just passing us by over here. We'll have a quick look at the cargo ship. We'll talk about how they are. Escape room up there, which is full of medieval challenges and puzzles that need to be solved. In the winter months, they have Christmas market as well, and the locals here love to hike up to the top of the hill. It's a beautiful walk just around the back of the hillside. Austria, an incredibly healthy, sporty nation. They like nothing more than to go out for a nice run in the morning, maybe a swim in the Danube. A high voted once again best city in the world to live in, and this is a matrix that's carried out independently based on things like salary, social care, health, education, climate. Vienna in Austria for the 11th consecutive year. The building down here on the right hand side, now what would happen if you were coming upstream? It was a little more challenging, obviously no propulsion. Going down was easy, you just need to start. Coming up, if you didn't have money, then you'd be pulled by human power. But if you were really wealthy, you could be pulled by horses, mules, and into the stables in which those horses were accommodated. And they were treated much better than the humans. They had heating, they had an abundance of food and fresh water. And the flood wall, for those, the flood wall would serve really no benefits if we have floods of that extreme again. But there we are, back to the left hand side again, and a beautiful shot right there with the sky silhouetting Spitz Castle, the gorgeous town of Spitz laying down on the riverbank. Spitz marked as the halfway point really of this Passau transit. And I'm going to point out, if we look directly ahead of us, over on the left-hand side, the Spitz side, you can see the oldest operating ferry here on the Danube. And this ferry is quite unique. It has no propulsion system whatsoever. And this is exactly how ferries would cross hundreds of years ago, using purely the flow of the water to get from side to side. We're going to slow down a little bit as we have to do so as we pass the ferry, not to disturb it, but take a look. There is 2 pylons on either side of the river here, a high tension cable spanning the Christmas magic, Captain. Take a look on the left-hand side, just behind the ferry there, you can see the beautiful church in the distance. And this church is unique as it's got a mirrored crucifix up on the roof. And on a small cabin there, right at the very front of the ship, that's where the crew will live. And then you can carry whatever you want in there. You can take some grain, you can take anything, any drink materials. At the back of the ship, it's where the captain, his or her wife or husband will live. Dutch registered ship that, so going all the way back up to the Netherlands, probably connecting in with some of the bigger ocean ships that are up there, the container ships, or maybe the big harbours up in Frankfurt or indeed Mainz. A ship like that probably take around 10 days to get back up to the Netherlands. For us, 2 weeks on our itinerary from Passau to Budapest. Geometry is just that. Look at that, what a shot that is. You've got the beautiful welcome reception building on the right, the church in the background, the rolling hillside heading off there. As I was saying, during certain days of the year when the geology is just right, the sun catches the top of the roof and a brilliant flash of light emerges as the sun reflects off the mirrored tiles. So Here we are, the Church of St Michael. As I say, take a look at the very... It's clearing up a little bit here. The skies are clearing, fantastic. If you get a shot right now, take a look at the church tower. On each corner of that church tower, you're going to see 4 double bunny rabbits, so 8 in total. The profile of the rabbits up. And take a look on the apex of that roof. Those of you at the front just starting to see it now, and you're going to be seeing another 7 bunny rabbits up on the apex of the roof. Wait for it, wait for it. Just a second, look, we'll see as we come sideways. Now you're just starting to see it. So not the main roof, that secondary roof. Look right up on the apex. You can see them popping out of that white sky behind. Those 7 bunny rabbits. Legend will tell how the snow was so high here one year that the rabbits could only escape up onto the roof of the church. The Church of St Michael, the oldest church here on the river. A bit more Christmas music from you, Captain.
You're not dressed for this.
No, I just jump up, take a picture, go back in.
Verse. Well, not the playlist though. And the crop now just waiting for the spring to come. But this is the town of Weissenkirchen over on the left hand side. And the town over here on the left is one of the foremost wine growing areas. Every one of the houses here you will see connected to the wine industry. They are entirely encircled by the crop, and look at these beautiful villas we're just about to pass by. This one in particular, just up there through the trees. Beautiful little dog over there as well. He's a fan of Mariah Carey, I can tell. Up there you can see the houses, every available square inch of land is used for the cultivation of wine, apricots. These houses paid for from the wine industry. And the white church for which the town is named after, just up there in the distance. Take a look at the other cruise ship approaching us. Above that, above the tree line, you can just see the steeple, the red tip steeple of the white church. A beautiful typical town here on the Wachau Valley. The sign on the right telling the ship what clearance we have under the low bridge. We will be going under a low bridge in around 20 minutes time. So if you are up here on the top deck, higher than 5'8", you are going to need to lay flat down on the floor. Sit down, it's going to do also a good enough job. But look forward, the beautiful town of Weissenkirchen. You can, that's it, that's a clear shot right there. So looking forward and off to the left-hand side, you can see the church. What I want you to focus on though is that little tiny chapel building just on the leading edge, the corner there. Almost looks as if it's made of porcelain. The church uniquely is constructed within the former footprints of the old medieval castle that once stood there. And if you're looking at it from this angle, it looks as if the church has been built inside an ark. Really is quite unique, and certainly it's very special for the town of Weissenkirchen. So take a look at the church, which is a newish construction, 300 years old, and take a look at the base of the church, and you will see it looks like it's placed in an old longship or a boat or an ark, and that is the old castle that used to stand in place there. Also spanning the river here, just ahead of us, we have another of the cable ferries. Is just parked up on the left-hand side. Do they still run this time of year, Captain, the ferries? They go all year, do they? All year the ferries go. On the left-hand side, some more of those beautiful villas, those great houses. You can tell the vintners really doing well for themselves. Getting these beautiful properties, not just the land that surrounds the properties is going to be theirs, but they'll also own a portion of the hillsides that we're looking at up on the left side. They all grow the grape to a certain set of terms and conditions that we're taking up wine processing centres, many of which located just outside the town of Krems. They work together to share in the profits. Just I'm showing on this side. Beautiful Weissenkirchen White Church. So take a look at that. Now these beautiful, typical Austrian houses that we see are very, very typical actually of this particular region. The low slung roof, and take a look at the edge of the roofs. They'll have these grill or grates. So when it snows during the cold portion of winter, then the snow doesn't all slide off in one big sheet, it slowly melts. And the houses are designed for heat and warmth, many of which now covered in solar panels, as you can see just here on this pipes right on the front on the left side, making the most of the abundant sunshine that they get here during the summer months. Now, whilst we're looking at all this beautiful old architecture, including the church, there is a bit of modern architecture for those that like something a little new. Take a look at the right-hand side, and you can see there is an orange digger just to the right of the ship. What is next to that orange digger? It's the world's largest single concrete rendered nose. The nostrils some 3 meters high. It looks like a stone giant has been buried underneath the salt. Very detailed. I'd love to know who the nostril is based on. In the summer months, you'll see happy families running in and out of there, playing inside the nose. Toddlers climbing up onto the tip. The modern art installation is there to smell the bouquet coming from the hillside opposite. Italian modern artists installed this back in 2016. But that's not what we want to be taking photos of. Look, right there, left-hand side. That's the shot with the pier, the name of the town, the church, the old castle footings. If you're getting the angle up here on the top deck, wow, what a shot that is. A nice saturation filter and pop that on Instagram or Facebook and make everyone back home a little envious. Absolutely beautiful. And we segue from town into countryside before we see the highlight of today's transit coming up. In around 6-7 minutes, the Pearl of the Wachau will be coming up just around this bend. The town of Dürnstein and the castle of Richard the Lionheart. Just before we make our way round the bend, just to give you a rundown of what's happening today, for those of you that weren't at my briefing last night. Once we're off in Krems, just making a short stop there to facilitate today's included tour. Double check your tickets. You're either in groups A, B, C or D, and that will determine what time you leave the ship. About a 5-minute walk to get down to where the buses are. And once we leave, the ship will also leave and the captain's going to drive a little closer into Vienna. Once we all get back on board, we've got a full programme this afternoon, from waltz dancing to apple strudel making demonstration. Don't forget there's an early dinner tonight because we have an early lunch. Lunch starts from 10:30 this morning, as it's an early tour. After dinner, you might want to stay on board and enjoy our special guest speaker that's going to be here at 7:30. Maybe take a walk outside the ship down to the amusement park that there's a live concert there free of charge at 8:30, or indeed head into the city of Vienna itself. At 5:30 I'll be giving you all the details of the next few days in Vienna and giving you an idea of things that you can do and enjoy the wonderfully festive capital city.
You missed the largest concrete nose.
Fantastic Captain DJ, as well as steering the ship as well. What skills! So making our way around the bends, you can enjoy the huge vineyards. And those of you up at the top, take a look on the right. You'll be able to see just through the trees that structure that is the sharp-looking old castle ruins of Richard the Lionheart Castle. So just looking off to the ship. Imagine the front of the ship is 12 o'clock and it's about 2 o'clock at the moment. We're going to be part of it.
Just see those sleigh bells jingling, ring, tingle, tingling, it's lovely weather, just sleigh ride together with you. And I'm calling you. It's lovely weather, just sleigh ride together with you.
A nice saturation filter and pop that on Instagram or Facebook and make everyone absolutely beautiful. And we segue from town into countryside before we You're either in groups A, B, C or D, and that will determine what time you leave the ship. About a 5-minute walk to get down to where the buses are. And once we leave, the ship will also leave and the captain's going to drive a little closer in to Vienna. So at the end of one of the last crusades, King Richard of England was making his way back to England, and in order to do so, coming back from the Holy Lands, he would have passed through here, Austria. Well, he was a wanted man, unfortunately, and he made the mistake of paying for something with an English coin. Well, this roused suspicion here in Austria, and he was uncovered, and it was revealed that he was King Richard, Richard the Lionheart. While the Austrians, deciding what to do with him, wanted to place him in a remote castle where he wouldn't be found. And it was here, in the town of Dürnstein, that he was placed. He was squirreled away in one of the deep cellars for a few months, but word soon got back to the English that this is exactly where King Richard was being held. Well, they came up with a cunning plan and out sent a search party, including his faithful assistant, a gentleman called Blondel. The idea was that they would travel to each and every castle in the region, and at sunrise every day, when it was at its quietest, his faithful assistant would sing a song at the foot of the castles. And it was here at Dürnstein that King Richard's voice joined in with that special song known only to him and his assistant. While the English paid a huge ransom to have him released, and it was that ransom which went on to pay for the construction of the newer southern part of the city of Vienna. Now, the whole legend of King Richard and his assistants is summed up in a glorious stone statue which is just coming into view. So if you look directly in front of the ship, you can see, just off to the right hand side, you can see where the granite rock face turns into terraced slopes there, terraced vineyards. Just at the foot and above the road deck, you will see there is a stone statue. The car the headlights now just went by it. It's a stone statue of Richard the Lionheart on his horse. Look out for that truck, and when I say now, look above the truck.
Yep, right there.
Now, right there, that's where it is. And there on the statue you can see King Richard on the horse, his assistant by his side. If you weren't here where you want to see the destruction caused by the flooding, a great example. Look up to your left now, just on this section here, those flattened trees. Also coming up here on the left, that wall of water which came down earlier on in the year, obliterating those weaker trees. That clean-up process is going to be taking some time to manage here. Nature, as always, will heal itself. But there is the statue of King Richard off on the left-hand side. And the most important thing about that statue is look where the statue is pointing. Follow the gaze of the horse. He's looking directly at the castle from which he was held prisoner, just coming into view at the front of the ship, around the bend, up on top of the hill, the castle of Richard the Lionheart.
You see the horse now? See the shape of the horse? On the left hand side of the road?
Yeah, right there.
To the left is
Right
a white,
there.
white marker.
I see.
Yeah, have a look on that.
You can't see it? Right there? Yeah.
And the castle isn't the only majestic beauty here on our conclusion of the Wachau Valley. It'll also be the enchanting town of Dürnstein. Dürnstein quite literally translates into dry rock, and you'll see why as the trees clear up ahead of us, we'll be greeted by the stunning blue and white monastic tower, the bell tower, whose bells chime every day at 11 o'clock and have done for the last 250 years. The monastery building in pastel colours a little further upstream, and there we are. What a view that is to greet us on this glorious
So that's Dürnstein, is it?
Yes.
Friday morning.
There's a castle on top of the hill as well.
Dernstein is what they call the Pearl of the Wachau. And as the river narrows, Captain Cosman is going to get us nice and close to make sure that we can get some great photos as we pass by. And we're so lucky, normally there is a big ship parked up right in front of the town, blocking the view, but today we have it completely unobstructed. Oh boy, you're going to get some great shots today. As you see the castle, make your way downhill and you can still work out the old defence wall which would encircle the city. Using the natural rock form and linking it together by making a stone wall, the muro coming all the way down to the city limits. The road used to pass by on the river's edge, and around 25 years ago they tunnelled underneath the town. That's where we're seeing that green stoplight there, taking the road traffic in a perfect way, really removing it from this beautiful town of Dernstein. Now as we get side on, literally just around the curve, you'll get a great chance to get both that blue and white tower, and you'll see all the gorgeous icons and details surrounding the tower and the castle all within the same frame. It's a really beautiful photo to have. The houses here all consent to a number of planning regulations. They give you a palette of colours in which you can paint the houses. You can't deviate from that. After you are given a choice, 4 or 5 colours in which to choose, and that creates this uniformity that we're seeing today. The colours are set by the church and the monastery in town. And although I'm sure Richard the Lionheart had particularly nice conditions when he was staying up there, probably treated quite well as he was a king, but there are certainly worse views. I can imagine being up there and looking down over this beautiful town. Now, would you, if you were here 100, maybe 200 years ago, would it look too different? Probably not. As we're around the corner, thanks Captain, slowing down just to give it the best chance to get those priceless shots in. To the right, even busy today, you can see there is a small campground and there are small ferries which cut across daily in the summer months. Every 10 minutes, one of the small boats. They wouldn't look at a place in Venice, crisscrossing from the campground opposite. That's it, that's the image right there. The bell tower, the castle in the background, the sky peeking through the former castle windows. That's the selfie moment. That is beautiful. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what river cruising is all about. If this is your first river cruise, hopefully you've got a taste for it. That feeling of almost reaching out and touching the sights that you pass by. Some of you with 8 cruises under their belt are still here, but this never gets old, never gets tiring. I've been studying up and down here for 11 years and it's still as beautiful as it was on day one. While Dernstein marks the exit from the UNESCO Wachau Valley Some great sailing there. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our captain, not for just getting a well done captain, and great music selection this morning as well. Now let me tell you what's going to happen right now. Lunch starts very shortly, so if you've just had breakfast and there's still room for a bit more, then you can make your way down to lunch. That is serving. If you are staying up here on the top deck, we do have a low bridge coming up in around 8-9 minutes time. So you will need to be seated if you are here on the top deck, because it is a low bridge. If you are at the back of the ship under our sunshade, we're going to be lowering the sunshade, we're going to be lowering the antennae, we're also going to be lowering the wheelhouse. If you look underneath where I'm stood, there's a big hole underneath it. The wheelhouse tucks itself down in that big hole as we go.
Yeah, that's actually pretty funny.
I wonder if they can actually pick it up.
I saw the helmet. I didn't realize he had a helmet, a hammer there
It's
also.
off to the side.
That's pretty funny.
You're in the cover. No, so yeah. When we missed the bridge, I don't think. Yeah, I'll go there.
It makes you think of like a transformer. Okay, so what's the ship going to turn into now?
An airplane.
Oh,
Just take off.
that would be interesting.
Alright. Get some pictures of this. You mind like moving off to the side one way or the other, sir?
But I was standing right in the middle intentionally. I am going to duck down though.
I have to slide my chair for you.
Yeah.
Unobstructed view, but good luck not happening. Yeah, this bridge is pretty low. Yeah, I'm wondering like how high it is, like how much space we're gonna have here. Can I like slap it when we're going by?
Or if anyone ever drops
Should I try to get a selfie of me?
Just make it look like you're holding the bridge up.
You know, that's a great idea.
Look at that for a jump. Hillside over there. It's a huge building, right?
The one that's way back there? It's massive, yeah.
Is that the Monastery again?
I have no idea.
The bridge is low. Yeah.
Oh, my battery's still on.
It tracks the judgment of the sitting there.
The prize for the first person to touch the bridge.
Oh man, yeah, you have to jump to touch that.
Wow. My battery back.
I could have stood.
All right, hello from Austria. This is Daniel and
Silberberg. We are close to Vienna at the moment. You guys can see Danube River behind us. This is a part of the tour that we along the Danube River.
yeah, we're actually at the village of Krem, where we will take a bus to go to an abbey this afternoon to explore an abbey. And then after that, the bus will take us to meet up with the ship, which will then cruise us the rest of the way into Vienna itself, where we will be tonight. So they're supposed to have a cool concert that we might stop by, and we're really looking forward to the rest of the day today.
All right, let's take a look outside of our room window right here.
And you can see a bridge.
We sail along the vineyard and the village and a lot of, beautiful scenes.
Yes, and that bridge back there I'm shooting at right now, we went underneath a little earlier and everyone had to sit down on the top deck because it was such a low clearance. You could not stand up while going under that bridge.
That's pretty cool experience.
Very cool experience.
Thank you for
All right.
watching, and catch up later on.
All right. Bye for now, folks.
International junior high school, yes. And no, the
children are coming from the surroundings and they are coming by bus or the parents bring them here. And they are teached in the English language. And also we have it's really your way of life. Gottweig spends every weekend and every free time in the monastery, and he likes it. After 1 year, the abbot is asking him, you still have this desire in your heart? And he said, yes. And in the And here in the Syrian Jewish chapel, I would like to invite you to come with me. As I mentioned, the scenic is normally the quiet chapel of the now. Opera singer from Letland performs a concert with the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. And the stage is between the vestibule wing and the obelisk, which is at the time protected from the seasons. The stage is over there. 17 arts of the antique, which are figured as different ladies with different symbols. For example, but before he could realize his plans, the Russian came, 3,000 Russian soldiers came, and they were living here, but just for 3 months. So you can read it in the book of Philo. It is my favorite story. Benedict saw in a vision that one of his favorite monks, Placidus, is in danger to drown in the little lake. He is shouting for Maurus, and he says, Maurus, please run and help him. He's in danger. Maurus says, okay, Benedict, but please give me your blessing before. Benedict says, okay, here you have my blessing, but please hurry, he's in danger. Maurus is running down.
great.
Watch if there's a big step here.
Yeah, big step.
Watch out for that chair.
Very detailed. Yeah.
She said they buried.
So this is a view from the monastery. It's gorgeous out here. Stift Gottweig Monastery.
It's crazy that they built this stuff so long.
yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Boy, that guy was rich, wasn't he? I'll remember his name here in a second. I can't remember
Which guy?
the paper guy.
Really enjoyed getting lost and just here for 5
Well,
minutes.
that's a big city, isn't it? I mean, that city is huge. My Trish's parents live in the Bay Area. The Bay Area is also a big.
I can add the music into this.
I mean, they're like.
How to find the nice music.
Yeah.
Oh, they have Best Western here.
We fly in. Trish flies down there once a month. She flies into Oakland.
Okay.
So if you take the wrong turn out of the airport in Oakland, you're
Forget
yeah.
to side and close. Step to side and close. Step to side and close. Step to side and close. And step to the side and close. Alright. Very good, very good. Applause. Close, stretch your arm and step to side and close. Step, side, close. Step to the side and close. Nice. Step to the side and close. Step to the side and close. Yeah. Step to the side and close. Yes, much better, much better.
Hi, Rabbit Boo Boo. Hi, Rabbit Boo Boo. Hi. Are you busy? Are you busy?
Okay, so we followed Apple Maps and it took us to this underpass, and apparently there are a bunch of rabbits that are over here in Vienna. I did not know they had so many rabbits, but this is a rabbit that's just chilling over here by the stairs. And it saw Coco and then it ran away. There's no hiding what they're doing. They're growing marijuana. Why? Why? To get high, of course.
No, it's for medical.
Isn't she pretty? Truly the angel's best. Boy, I'm so happy, yeah. Heaven and heaven. I can't believe all that is done. Giving life for one. But isn't she lovely? Made from love.
2,000 years ago, Vindobona was a military and trading post, and many arms of the Danube flowed through an
You wouldn't do that.
Ты смотришь там, да, на могу видеть. Ты смотришь там, да, могу видеть мало. Już na jakiej stary lampy, ale to jest Да, візьму сказав, що там около.
I think these pictures on the top show us what you're looking at.
Там все спросили.
It's tilted.
It's tilting and tilting around as it's going.
Oh, that's scary.
That's crazy pants. And you're right up against the walls as it's going. Wow. It's not even you fall, you fall, you whack into whatever you hit. 1, 2. There are like 2 people on there also. That's it. There's only 2 people on it.
Wow, that's so brave.
Hold still.
Go ahead and walk in front of me.
In front of you?
Yeah.
Like I'm a buyer?
Hop off.
What is this plant they're growing in here?
Oh, Daniel, you hit that thing.
So you can just get up and look. What is this plant? They have so many of them.
It's amazing plant.
In the middle of Vienna, with all this light and little wind blowing.
Go ahead and walk. This is Vienna at night. Let's see. The wall. AK-47. That's funny.
That's a train.
That's a train.
carrying trucks. It's literally carrying cargo container trucks for vehicles. Videos would be a lot better than the camera was.
Okay.
Look at Coco. This is where she's gonna sleep tonight because we got kicked off the cruise ship because she was too drunk.
No.
No?
Shows around. But just this area around the whole thing.
You got cruise ships. You got more hammocks. You got exercise bikes. You got a bridge and a bridge. Coco, come show us how the exercise bike works. No? Okay, fine.